There you go.
Okay. All right, so we're going to start here with a planer. So this is our planer, and it's a really safe machine. So the big deal with the planer is, obviously, you don't want to stick your hands in the planer. Okay. It has 3 cutting heads on the inside, and then it has feed rollers in the front and back. So when you go to set this planer, we want to set it up to the thickest part of your wood. So you have to take your wood, get a piece of wood that you're going to plane, and whatever you have that you're going to plane, you measure it and find the thickest part, and that's what you set this to, is to the thickest part. And then you run it through, and then you can lower this. So the maximum amount that you can lower the planer is a half turn. So you pull it right here in 1 turn. It has a little thing that says up and down. That means the table is going up or down, and it moves your wood up into the cutter head. So it's kind of opposite. So you move the table up to make it thinner, move the table down to make it thicker. Okay? So over here on the front, there's a measurement. They're kind of handwritten, and there are lines and a mark. And so you can set it with this to see how high you're setting it, and so you can get it 3/4, 7/8, whatever it is you're going to start at, typically. Okay? So I haven't had any accidents on this except one, and it was the most serious accident we've had in the shop. So the rule on this is you can only put 1 board at a time through this planer, and the boards have to be at least 10 inches long. Okay? The board's shorter than 10 inches, it'll get caught between the rollers, and then it gets kicked out with the cutters that are going through. Okay? If you put boards in side by side, if one's thicker than the other, it will hold up the in-feed roller, and then the cutter head acts like a golf club hitting the board out. Okay? So here's my big accident that was super bad. So I have a kid, and he's running a bunch of boards through here side by side, and they're about 1.5 inches wide and like 20 inches long. So he lays all the boards here and he starts to run them in through here. And as he's running them through here, he's standing right here in front. When you run the planer, you should always stand to the side. Never stand right behind your wood. Because if it kicks out, it'll hit you, and it hurts. Okay? So you always stand to the side. Well, he wasn't doing what he's supposed to. He's standing here, and a board kind of kicked out. It didn't come out fast. It was kind of sliding about like that, but it hit him in the groin area, and he thought it would be funny to pretend he'd gotten back. So he went, oh, like this, not screaming, but just pretending, and he was right down here, got himself at eye level. And I was standing over here, and I saw him, and I said, you better get out of there before you actually take one in the head. It was about a half a second later, one came out at probably 30 miles an hour and hit him right in the head. It hit him so hard that it embedded his hair, it cut his hair and embedded it in the end of the wood. So the wood bounced off his head and landed in the far corner of the shop over here. He did a back somersault and then rolled into the room like he thought he was in an army movie or something, because he didn't know what had hit him. 3 more of his boards fired out and hit the back over there. He had a huge concussion. And the deal was, it hit him right here, just above his eye. If that board had been an inch lower and hit him in the eye socket, he'd be dead. So that was my most serious accident. It turned out I just got a good concussion and bled all over my dang shop. I had to clean stuff up for a week. Okay? So never stand behind the machine when you're running your wood. Always stand to the side. Never look inside of a running machine. You don't put your eye down there, your head down in there, and look inside. Okay? So if the machine is running, you should be at the side and not looking inside the machine. One of the things that does happen is if people aren't paying attention, they get their hands underneath their wood, and it gets up here to this edge, and they can get their fingers pinched here. It's more common on the sander than it is on the planer. Okay? So, and the other one is on the back side. So if you come around here to the back side, I had this accident happen on my planer when I worked in industry. One of the guys who was working for us got bored because we had boards coming through here, and he just has to stand there and wait. It gets tiring because it's not going very fast. So he reached into the planer to put it around. There's a little lip or a ledge right here. Well, when he didn't recognize the wood coming, and his finger was right here, and the wood pinched his finger and just skinned the end of his finger. It took the meat, took the skin off the meat, and let the trail of skin hanging out the end of his finger. Okay? So don't stick your hands in the machines when they're running. That's a pretty simple instruction, but people still do it. I don't know why. Okay? Other than that, this one's pretty safe. I haven't had any other accidents on this, and it makes your boards thinner and smooth. Any questions on the planer? It's good because it's a video, I don't have to answer them.